Hey there, Shrees here from Pieces Calligraphy. Welcome back to another day in my Youtober challenge where I'm bringing you a new video every single day for the whole month of October. For day 22, I wanted to do another pen review. So this one is the Winsor & Newton watercolor marker. Very juicy, very fun, and there's actually a second tip to the pen. So there's on one end a brush marker and then the other side more of a bullet point, which you'll see in just a bit. An interesting thing about this pen is it's really fat. And when I say fat, I mean the diameter of its body is pretty wide. And so it just kind of made it for an interesting feel when I wrote with it. So I'm going to start off with that fine point that I mentioned, just so you can see what that looks like. There is just no flex to this side. I'm just kind of showing you it's the same width no matter where or how you position the pen. And then on the other end is that brush tip that flexes. And of course, because we're all about brush calligraphy here, this is the pen that we're going to, the side, that we're going to focus on. So here I am just doing a couple of strokes and adding more pressure. You can see how thick and very juicy these strokes get. So as I'm doing these basic strokes here, I wanted to point out that this pen being so juicy, it actually doesn't dry as fast as most brush pens. And I thought I would point that out because I usually stress how cool it is that brush pen markers dry really fast. And in this case, it wasn't happening. And so I just wanted to let you know, in case, especially lefties out there who worry about smearing, you just want to really be careful because this pen is pretty wet and juicy. I think I said juicy way too many times. So a quick note on the tip of this pen, it was actually fraying on me, but I was still able to achieve those thin and thick strokes. So for those of you out there who are wondering how to deal with your frayed pens, you can still save them and practice with them. So don't ever feel like it's the end of the world. All right, so I wanted to use a different color that I have here. I noticed that this red wasn't as pigmented and juicy as the purple pen. I don't know if that's a variation in the colors, but it did seem a little bit more faded. And I do think that that's just the effect of it being a watercolor brush. It still was a really great tip. You can see here that I'm getting those thick strokes that I really want. And then here I'm kind of using a semi-thick stroke. And then at the next line, I press down a little bit harder. See the difference in the strokes, that thick stroke? So it's still the same writing, but you can change the pressure and get different looks to your writing. So here I am just writing out the name of the pen. Because this pen writes on such a large scale, I would probably recommend you use this pen for larger signage and maybe large names. It wouldn't be ideal for smaller writing, but if you do want to write smaller, this is where that fine tip or that bullet point comes in. So here I went in to add a little bit more words to the phrase here, obviously the name of the pen. But even still, look how thick that fine tip is. It's still not super fine, so just something to keep in mind depending on the scale of what you're trying to write. All right, and what is a pen review without the alphabet? Thanks to some of your guys's responses to previous videos, I noticed that a lot of you would like me to write the alphabet in real time, so this one is for you. And that concludes my review of the Winsor & Newton watercolor marker. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did and if you found it helpful. Leave me a comment below if you have tried this marker and what you thought about it. I'd love to hear from you, as always, and also any requests that you have for future pens that I can review. And if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so you can be notified for new videos. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 23. Bye.